Congratulations to each of you. I listened to the testimony this morning, you've managed to take lemons and make lemonade out of it. You've each looked at opportunities in a difficult time, a difficult period here, and look at it from the standpoint of how can we, pull up our bootstraps and make something work here. So congratulations, and I continue to applaud you, and I can tell you we're adamant about trying to continue to keep you in business and make sure that you continue able to take advantage of those opportunities. Along that line, just like to start out, Mr. Eifert, with you. I know that there's a couple of things I'd like to talk to you about this morning with regards. One of them is the new home buyer's tax credit. Being in the construction business, which has been hammered over the last several years here, can you tell me the impact that it's had? Has it been positive, negative? What would you like to see it extended? Is it you've had enough of it? Can you just give me an overview of what you feel in your area, what it would be something to be beneficial or time to move on?
Overall, I have heard some of the criticisms that it perhaps moved demand and concentrated demand into a narrower time frame. But at the same time, a lot of my new home builder oriented customers, the ones that predominantly build new spec homes, have seen their inventories turn. And I think the aspect of the most recent credit that was very effective was that there was also an incentive for the not first-time home buyer, the $6,500 for those that had already purchased a home in the past. But what we saw with the tax credit overall was I think it increased the liquidity in the housing market. We had heard a number of people that said I could sell my home if my prospective buyer could sell their home. And so what we saw was that the tax credit put some liquidity in the housing market, and we saw more transactions taking place across not only the new home but the existing home spectrum. And so in our community, I think it did make an impact, and I think it was directly related to overall liquidity and transaction volume in the market at large. So I would say it's been quite effective, and it's been something that certainly I've seen a on the streets impact from it.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that Mr. Norman and Ms. Nelson, you guys talked about access to credit this morning and your experiences with it. And Mr. Norman, you have a bank failure in the middle of a loan process. That's a rather stressful situation. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Yeah, when it's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's pretty darn bad. We were pretty fortunate in the fact that we've got a pretty good banking relationship with the banks that were failing and the banks that weren't failing. And our loan officer was acting a little squirrely at one point, and I said, sir, if at any point in time you don't have faith in the bank to be able to deliver the services that we need and the capital that we need, I want to know. And he made a call one day, and he said, I will do everything I possibly can to get you landed in a bank. And he said, this is no reflection upon your business. This is a reflection upon ours, and I can't service you. And so he literally had me in another bank in about an hour, but it felt like about 3 months.
Ms. Nelson?
That's great. My experience with the SBA loans, both through my chair position with the Greater Sarasota Chamber as well as my own due diligence, was that it was a very cumbersome process. I think a lot can be done to not only assist the small business owner in making their way through all their paperwork, but streamlining the process so that it's easy. There's not a lot of time. We already wear a lot of hats. So to take time away from the business, the limited time that we already have, it's really hard to take on a process like that, make your way through it, and typically the process from the initial paperwork to funding is long, and typically that doesn't work.
I know that a couple of things that were in the health care bill was one of them was regards to if you have $600 worth of economic or some transactions with individuals, you got to send them a 1099. Does that affect any of your businesses? Mr. Dipole, yours?
Yes, we have several contractors that we utilize that, yes, that does affect our business.
Your mic? Is your mic on?
Bring closer. How's that?
There you go.
Yes, that does affect our business somewhat. That $600, certainly the 1099, we must pass those on, and we follow those areas. So yeah, it certainly does make a difference for our business.
Mr. Eifert?
Absolutely. I mean, I look at something like that and I say, okay, what's the personal impact of this? Well, the personal impact in my business is it will land on a lady's desk named Vicki Mansfield, who's been with me just over 30 years. and she will have to go through the process of now trying to find taxpayer ID information on all the vendors that we've done business with. And I can't even imagine the number of hours that this is going to take to try to get the information that is going to be required to fill those out. But I would think that we'd probably have to do 100 to 200 1099s.
Okay. Just very quickly, have each of you looked at the health care bill, and is it going to be a good deal for you? Is it going to cost you money? The provisions in there about mandatory insurance, is that a problem for any of you?
With our business, on our core employees, we already carry a health plan for them. On the staffing side of our business, to where, you know, it can grow by the hundreds in a couple weeks, I have no clue how it's going to affect us, and I don't know how to really dissect it. So yes and no.
Ms. Nielsen, I see you.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to dissect it either. I'm not familiar enough with it to know. We do offer health insurance currently, and it's working, so I'm half tempted with all the other hats we have to, you know, continue to hold on to that while we focus on other fires. But rumor has it from my business partner and husband that there's some grumbling that there will be some difficulties. I just don't know what those are at this point.
Okay, I see my time expired. Thank you, Madam Chair.